Okay, so what is the relationship between Mommy Evelyn and Abuela?
So, so in the story, Mommy and Evelyn didn't like Abuela, and Abuela thought like Evelyn. It was like weird for Evelyn to like change her name so that she could like hide her Puerto Rican culture, and then it like changed from Mommy and Evelyn not liking Abuela to Abuela and Evelyn not liking Mommy because Mommy is like trying to like cover her hand with the sky in the book, and she wants to kind of control Evelyn's life and try to control her.
I have a
Do you
question.
have? How can you support your evidence with that? How can you like claim it? Do you have a better evidence for that? Do you have a better evidence to support that?
Yes. So in the text, it said, in the text it said that, like, it showed that, like, Mommy wanted Evelyn to come with her and leave the church, but Evelyn was kind of stubborn and said that she was gonna stay. So that made Mommy stay at the church with Abuela because Abuela and Evelyn wanted her to help support the young lords.
I have another question. How did the young lords affect Evelyn?
The young lords affected Evelyn.
No. The young lords affected Evelyn because in the beginning Evelyn didn't like the fact that she's Puerto Rican, but then when she saw the Puerto Rican young lords, she wished she looked more Puerto Rican and she had curly hair.
What do you think about this?
I would say that the young lords made her want to be more of who she actually was and brought out more of her identity.
Well, let's get on to the question. My question about the book is that how does Abuela impact Evelyn throughout the story? And my answer to that is that she had told the truth to Evelyn, like reveal more and more about her identity instead of unlike Mommy who kept on hiding the truth like the cover of the book. I would like to add on. I think that the way it affected Abuela affected everyone was because like Abuela started like to really like show like her culture to Evelyn and also like be more comfortable to Evelyn and like get her stuff that would be nice.
Like showing her like the past.
Yeah,
The
showing her
past of like things
how
that happened.
her-
Like how her grandfather was the shooter in the Ponce massacre.
Anyway, so my question: what is Evelyn's POV of her dad?
her POV.
I would like Yofi to answer my question.
I would say Evelyn's POV on her dad was that he was supporting, but also at the same time not supporting. He made her. He was not so. He didn't really like her personality, and Evelyn also didn't really understand who her father was. But she wanted to understand and wanted to know the stories about her.
I like to add on to that. In the book, it doesn't really show her and her dad's relationship, but I feel like Evelyn and her father's relationship feels like as if she can trust her father to tell her anything, even big secret. Like she doesn't have to hide anything away from her because like there's a page I don't remember, but it says to her. You remember the page where it says, "I feel like somebody now,
Yeah,
Papi."
because
I can support my answer with that.
because like she at the first in the beginning she felt like she didn't really like her stepfather that much, and it kind of showed that her stepfather didn't like her because he said that she should have been helping her mom because when she was customizing her room and talking about her room, he said that she should be helping mommy with clean up after breakfast, and then when she says I feel like something with Poppy, she said that she felt like that her point of view changed because she said that she saved her. She called her actual dad Poppy, and calling her stepfather Poppy changed her point of view on him.
I have a question. I would like Luzerne to answer it. Why was mommy covering the sky?
Because she was overprotective, specifically on the page. It said when mommy and Abuela were fighting over when, I think it was when the bodega got robbed. They were fighting, and then it was like there was this question on the paper. It said, and it asked the same question, and I said, mommy was covering the sky because she was controlling the house, and she was controlling the house, and I got it right, so which is the right answer. Anyways, I disagree with you two because her and the dad's relationship it's not bad and it's not good. Just because she said that I feel like I can tell you anything, that doesn't mean that the relationship is good. She can tell her stepdad one thing, but that doesn't mean the relationship is the best, and that doesn't mean the relationship is bad. He's just trying to support her because he's trying to help her. When he said that you should go and help your mom, he was just trying to give her good advice or help her relationship with her mom.
I agree with you, but still, it doesn't. I'm not saying that their relationship is good or bad. I'm just saying like it changed from the beginning of the book to that point because it changed from him telling her to help her mom to her saying changing from calling her dad to Poppy showed that she cares more about him than she used to. So it still doesn't. It still means that it still doesn't mean that they don't care about her. I mean that their relationship is the best, but it shows that it changed from what it was before.
What do you think about this, Yofi?
I would say I agree with Tristan because it doesn't show that their relationship it didn't show that their relationship grew to a severe extent, but it changed so that they will be more protective and they will love each other more.
What do you have to say about your question in the story?
I'd say, how do you believe mommy was supporting to Evelyn throughout the book?
Can I answer that? Wait, just one. How was mommy supporting throughout the book? Mommy wasn't really that supportive, but we didn't finish the whole book. But it was like at the end when they were at the church. It was one day we were at the church. Mommy, when Evelyn decided to stay in the church because she wanted to protest with the young lords. Yeah, she wanted to protest with them. So she decided. Mommy wanted to go home, but Evelyn and Abuela wanted to stay there. So Mom decided to stay with her because she loves Evelyn so much and she doesn't want her to get hurt. But in the beginning of the story, no, not the beginning, the middle, Mommy didn't support her and the young lords, and she didn't. It's not like she didn't love her. It's just that she didn't like what she was. She didn't like what she was thinking of or her ideas of what she was doing.
I respectfully disagree with that. I think mommy was not supportive at all because she was not supporting because there was no sentence where she said I will support you with your young lord.
That's not what I said. I said that even though she disagreed with them, she still loved Evelyn.
she's, even though she still loves Evelyn, she's trying to drag her away from what she wants, which would lead me to my claim that she would not be a supportive mother. What do you think? What do you have to say about your question?
I think that for my question.
Yeah.
So my question is, what was the reason Evelyn felt like she had, like, what was the reason Evelyn thought that she needed to hide her Puerto Rican culture from other people? And I think the answer may be is because she said that she changed her name to Evelyn because people like the boys would always say a couple of those names and a girl would turn around. So I think because of that, she felt like insecure about her name, about her full name. So she went by a name that didn't sound really Puerto Rican.
I agree with Christian because she did do that, but also like cause she like at first she didn't really like her Puerto Rican culture, like what she said. Like at the beginning, she had like her full name. I think it was, I forgot their full name.
I think it was Carmen Sandy.
It started Rosa something.
And it was a Puerto Rican name, so she didn't like it.
Really didn't like it, so she decided to change it. And when she changed it, she thought it was better. But then when she finally found out about like how the Puerto Rican culture like impacted on, like when the Puerto Rican culture impacted on her, she finally realized why it's so important to be a part of her culture.
I have a question. Yeah. Do you think? I would like to answer my question. Do you think mommies sooner or later started to like the idea of Evelyn being a part of the Young Lords? I agree. I think she will sooner or later like the idea of her daughter being a part of the Young Lords because, as we said, the Puerto Rican, no, we didn't say it, but the Puerto Ricans weren't really treated well because they were Puerto Rican. So, and mommy doesn't really like change, but the whole point of the Young Lords is to make a change and make the community of the Puerto Ricans better. So I think eventually mommy wants the same thing for the Puerto Rican community to be treated better. So I think eventually she will support the Young Lords.
But I think that like after she saw the Young Lords helping and talking about her culture, she felt like her insecurities didn't matter, and that she cared less about her insecurities than how unfair people like her were treated. Because in the text it showed that in the book, when she was angry and she went to Migdalia's house, she said that her street was nicer than where Evelyn lived, because where Evelyn lived, there was more garbage than where Migdalia lived. It was more cleaner and the houses were more nicer.
What do you have to say about your question, Amina?
I have another question. How did the Young Lords impact Abuela?
Can I answer? It grew her closer to Evelyn because both of them supported the Young Lords. I would like Yofi to continue with my sentence.
I think the Young Lords impacted the Abuela in a way that she started to feel more connection with Evelyn because they grew closer together and they agreed on the fact that they needed change in the community.
I think Christians should
So, like, before, Abuela and Evelyn didn't really have nothing in common. Evelyn thought, like, that Abuela was like strange because she said that she had drawn on eyebrows and her hair was messy. But then like they started to get closer after, but they started to get a little bit closer before the Young Lords happened because of the photo album where Abuela talked about Evelyn's grandfather being a shooter, and then after the Young Lords their relationship changed. It became like more closer to where she hung out, like she was sitting into church she used to sit next to Mommy, now she's sitting with Abuela and the other supporters of the Young Lord. So I would say that the Young Lords made Abuela more closer to Evelyn.
I would like people to answer my question. My question was, how does Abuela impact Evelyn throughout the story? I would like Yofi, right? Yofi to answer the question.
I would say that Abuela made Evelyn more outgoing and made her change the perspective on how she should try and solve a problem. I would like to add on to Yofi. Also, the way it impacted on her, it was like first when Mommy went to, I think it was one part like in the beginning, when Mommy left, when she stormed out, I think it was Abuela and like Evelyn's hair tie got stuck and Abuela helped her. Like Abuela's been helping her a bunch of times. That's why I think she's more on Evelyn's more on Abuela's side, because Abuela, like once you get to know Abuela, she gets really kind.
I disagree with you. I don't think Evelyn is more on Abuela's side. I honestly think she's more on Mom. I think it's in the middle, because even though she spends a lot more time with Abuela and than Mommy, I think she still loves Mommy, even though they both have a disagreement and they just don't show it.
So I have a question about how did the Young Lords change Mommy?
Oh, the Young Lords had introduced Mommy to a negative thought about her daughter and her mother. Well, because of the Young Lords, she thought that her mother was making a bad influence on Evelyn's head, which would lead her to distance more and more from her daughter. I would like.
I think Mommy felt more separated, but from the Young Lords, because Evelyn had more thoughts in her head and more ideas than when before the Young Lords happened. So I think that their relation, like I think that Mommy felt like distant and felt like Evelyn was trying to grow up too fast. So, and in the text it said that she was too young Evelyn was too young for her to be in the Young Lords, and that she was just a little girl, that she shouldn't be experiencing the stuff that the Young Lords were doing, and she shouldn't be a part of it.
I agree with Tristan that Mommy didn't want to agree with the idea that Evelyn wanted to be part of the Young Lords, and I would say that Mommy believed that Evelyn could get herself hurt or go to prison because the Young Lords were doing things that she believed that the police will say were against the law and get them in trouble.
I'd like to add a question.
Okay, we gotta stop, guys.